celebrates those who have entertained the nation for the past 5 decades. The Avenue of the Stars is live tonight at 8, part of our ITV50 celebrations.
This program is sponsored by 888.com, the world's online casino and poker room.
Sébastien Loeb may be running away with the title, but for the 2005 Rally of Great Britain, all eyes are on Colin McRae.
Hello and welcome to our coverage of the final 2 days of the Rally of Great Britain. We're here inside the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff, where later on Colin McRae will entertain this crowd in the first ever indoor stage of the World Rally Championship. Now, Colin's return after 2 years out of the sport has been eagerly anticipated, but his first day back in the office was something of a baptism of fire.
The slippery conditions meant that McRae played safe and was happy just to reach the finish of the opening stage.
Bloody hard work. It wasn't flowing as it used to.
Things improved on stage 3. McRae showed some of the speed that has made him such a favourite with the fans. He was 6th quickest and climbed up to 9th overall. The early leader of the event was Markko's Grönholm. The Finn is 2nd in the championship and was confident of winning here. But his hopes took a serious dent when his brakes failed and dropped him to 19th.
When we can fight, we have some problems.
Sébastien Loeb has a massive 32-point advantage in the championship, and with Grönholm in trouble, the Frenchman saw the chance to grab the lead and possibly clinch the title here in Wales. But this spin brought him back down to earth with a bump. Solberg should have taken advantage of his rival's misfortunes, but he too got into a spin. By the halfway point on day 1, Loeb's lead was just over 10 seconds, but he was late out of service and was penalised virtually all his advantage. Harry Rovanperä made 3rd his own, but by the end of the day he was coming under pressure from a rejuvenated Markko's Grönholm. His brakes fixed, the Finn went on a charge and climbed up to 4th. Chris Atkinson and Francois Duval had a scrap over 5th place. The Australian was on fire, or at least his brakes were, but it was Duval who held the upper hand going into day 2. Henning Solberg, Petter's older brother, is the best placed Ford in 7th, but teammate Tony Gardemeister became the first big name to go out of the rally when his car was found to be underweight. Meanwhile, McRae struggled through the afternoon and ended up 12th. Not a spectacular day, but still the best placed British driver. Only just though, because 1 second behind the Scot is his protégé, Chris Meek, who's making his debut in a World Rally car. With 6 stages gone, Loeb leads by just under 10 seconds from Solberg. Grönholm will have his sights set on Rovanperä's 3rd place, and behind them there's a right old tussle for the rest of the points places. McRae in 12th is just over half a minute off the points place he covets, but he's got Meek, Warmbold and Latvala all hot on his heels.
Good morning, Colin. Did you sleep well?
Yes, very well.
Tired after yesterday?
It was a long day, yeah. I haven't sweated that much for a while.
Now, you're changing the setup today?
Just a bit, not a lot. We're just experimenting with a few different things in the transmission and a bit in the suspension.
But it'll give you a bit more confidence, hopefully.
Well, we need to try it. You know, it's very small changes, so hopefully it's going to pay off.
And the strategy today?
Just to keep pushing as hard as possible. It would be nice to get back in the top 10 over the next 3 stages.
Find out how Colin gets on with the new setup in his Škoda on day 2 of Wales Rally GP when we come back.
Another bright and beautiful day in South Wales. The order of the rally changed now from 15 to 1. Chris Meek the first for us to look at. He couldn't wait to restart this morning in 13th place, and that's 2 better than his team RED have set for him as a target this weekend.
Yeah, and the good thing for Chris, John, he's only 1 second behind Colin McRae at the moment. So second Brit in the event. The first 4 miles of Cricken is a new stage, and the road will start to clean up for the cars coming behind.
There are plenty of battles set up for day 2 of Wales Rally Great Britain, but Meek McRae is by far the most intriguing.
Whoa, just on that loose. Managed to get a hold of that car. A bit of a moment there for Chris Meek.
Mark up, yep, 150 up.
Okay, just changing the pace notes for the next time through.
Crest and 3 right.
We're going to repeat this stage later on this afternoon.
Picture of concentration, because this is the man he wants to catch in 12th as we start day 2. And it's the battle that the fans want to see most. Meek against McRae, and there they are, 1 second between them.
Bit of a slow start from Colin yesterday, but building confidence. But John, look, he's on the manual gear shift here. We heard they had problems on the road section to the way to this stage.
6 crest.
How much time is that going to take away from him as he locks horns in this important battle with Chris Meek of all people? End of the stage coming up, let's watch out.
Shouldn't make too much difference.
Changing gear manually again.
Through there. Oh, slower, but only by 0.3 of a second.
To Henning Solberg, the best of the Fords at the moment, and his last appearance of 2005.
But he has got Chris Atkinson to fight with today. He's only 0.6 of a second behind him. Oh, mega quick down here. 6 gear, about 115, 120 miles an hour. Oh, he's got it wide. Just clobbered these logs on the outside of the corner. Spun him down the road. Big moment there for Solberg.
Top marks to him. The first thing he did was reach for the starter button.
Get it started. First gear, try and pull away. Spectator power required. Plenty of them there. Get it going, but that car doesn't sound healthy. Sounds as if the exhaust's all squashed. Back up the road, on the handbrake, round you go. That's a lot of time loss.
Dented but undeterred, Henning Solberg presses on.
Yeah, but that was a serious moment.
Look at this.
Replay of it, just gets onto the loose. Wallops these logs, spins down the road, and there's a few lucky amateur cameramen there as well. And this is a man that he was chasing. Whether he'll know about this moment of tearing Solberg's or not, I'm not sure.
Well, it plays into his hands, certainly, and yesterday he found Wales to his liking, did Chris Atkinson. And he's just 8 seconds as well off Francois Duval after day 1.
Whoa! Bit of a moment here. Whoa! He's off. He's off in the inside of the right-hander, John.
There's something about this stage.
Clutch.
4-wheel drive, get the diffs locked, try and reverse it back up the bank. But this is costing him lots of time. That car's going nowhere.
Supervision from Glenn, we've spun on the off on the inside of the corner at 6k mark. We're stuck and I don't think we'll be getting out. Sorry guys.
There's the skid marks, there's the car. It's about 10 metres down there. Looks undamaged. But it's game over for Atkinson.
If he could have seen that, Rob, he would have known it was game over. Now, Francois Duval, and this is another battle this morning. In 5th place, a source of pleasure to Citroën, and he's only 1.3 seconds off Marcus Grönholm.
Yeah, but Marcus Grönholm's a man on a mission. Whoa! Duval sliding wide. That looks like the same corner as Chris Atkinson was off on. Bit of loose gravel around. Back on it though, got away with that one. You really don't realise how hard these guys are pushing, John, until you're in the car. That run with Colin McRae recently opened my eyes again.
To Marcus Grönholm, he spent Friday chasing people, making up ground. He did fantastically well, but 40 seconds to Harry Rovanperä in 3rd place. That is a big ask today.
It's a big ask, but it's definitely possible. Marcus Grönholm never gives up. Always a pleasure to watch. Maximum attack everywhere. One of the guys you can depend on. Peter Solberg in second place, only 9.9 seconds behind Sebastian Loeb. Can he take the fight to him today?
Well, that's striking distance, isn't it? He's got 12 miles here. How much of that can he make up?
These are fantastic stages. The surface is very good, and look how dry it is.
6 left minus long and line into neat. 6 right, extra long, tightens 5 flat. Half long.
Look how quick it is.
16.
Whoa. Just some damp corners under the trees. Peter looks as if he's on it.
The stage cleaning as each driver comes through because of this reverse order today, and the last onto the cleanest of all lines, Sebastian Loeb, the rally leader.
Well, we're feeling a bit of pressure from Peter Solberg behind. 9.9 seconds is the gap. 2 fastest times yesterday. Let's check out the times. Down towards the end of the stage. Mega quick here.
This is ominous, just this right-hander at the bottom.
This is going to be a very good time, John. Round it goes. There's the flying finish.
Bingo.
Minus 6 seconds. Whoa. Good stuff.
Loeb wins the stage, and he extends his lead over Peter Solberg, but all the movement is in the lower half of that leaderboard. Aussie Chris Atkinson and Henning Solberg are out of the points. Märtin into 6th. Gali now in 7th. Hovering just outside. McRae in 10th. 22 seconds off a possible point, ahead of Meek in 11th and Higgins in 14th.
And on the road section between 7 and 8, Colin McRae trying to carry out emergency repairs to that semi-automatic gearbox.
Colin, what do you reckon? Fixed or not, or it's just a... No, I don't think so. It's just a make do.
It's not the end of the world, no, but it's just something else you've got to concentrate on. And it's already hard enough, but the setup of the manual gear lever is not easy. You've got to loosen the belts to reach it, which is a completely ludicrous situation.
So that's a bit of a concern. There was nothing in there you can do to actually fix it, or...
No, just check the connections are on. That's all you can do, and they're on.
There was another blinding performance from Sebastian Loeb on stage 8. He turned in the fastest time and extended his lead to just under 19 seconds. It was a costly stage for Subaru. They lost Stefan Zarazan, and that now makes it 2 Subarus to go out in as many stages. Next up, it's stage 9. That's halfway.
And funnily enough, it's about halfway point in the rally, just short of it. 11.54 miles through here. Absolutely fantastic stage to drive. And first up is Mark Higgins. 16th place last night, but he's climbed his way to 13th overall and is hunting down both Meek and McRae. To Chris Meek, 11th overall, but only 0.2 seconds behind Colin McRae in 10th place. Tricky section, narrow through there, but no mistakes from Meek.
Long 2 right minus.
Second on the road today. We'll be doing a certain amount of road cleaning.
Good run?
Yeah, a little bit better than the first stage. I think I was a little bit untidy in the first stage. A bit of the loose gravel caught me out, but I just checked myself in there and just took a wee bit more slowly into the corners and try and get a bit more speed on the exit. So, you know, it's working okay, but, you know, I'm still learning.
Is the novelty worn off, or have you still got a big smile on your face?
The novelty will never wear off in here. It's this is my life, and this is what I want to do. It's fantastic.
And it is a fantastic job. Colin McRae in 10th place. One-off comeback for Škoda. There was talks about him doing Japan, but he wanted to wait and see how this event goes. And this is a tricky section. It used to be to the left-hand side on the tarmac, but the military made that road specially for the rally. McRae didn't manage to sort that gear shift problem on the road section, so you can see he's still using the manual shift. It'll cost him a little bit of time. Mega quick towards the finish here.
6 crest.
Bit of a lift through there. And he's slower than Chris Meek, 1.1 seconds, so Meek takes him. Meek is up to 10th place. Markko Märtin, 6th place, 3rd fastest in the previous stage. That's a good performance, the best we've seen so far this weekend. But he's got a battle brewing with Francois Deval. Deval is just in front of him by 2 seconds at the moment.
4 plus left.
Markko's still not got to grips with this Peugeot.
4 plus left, it goes long.
Doesn't suit his driving style, and Peugeot don't seem to adapt it to it either. This is who he's trying to hunt down. Francois Deval, ultra quick over Dixie's crossroads there. onto that new road. Look how quick this is. Down to the section where a couple of years ago Francois Delacour crashed out heavily in his Mitsubishi. Big rocks on the inside. Harry Rovanperä, third place at the moment. Very solid start yesterday, but is coming under pressure from Marcus Grönholm. Grönholm's closed the gap from 40 seconds this morning down to 24 now. Battle of the Finns. You can hear that loose gravel rattling off the underside of the car. Heavy on the brakes, down to this tricky section. A little bit of air from Harry through there. He's on it. But here's the rally leader, Sébastien Loeb. Not making any mistakes, responding to Peter Solberg's pressure. Seems to have something extra in the tank all the time. 18.8 seconds in front of Solberg at the moment. Fastest on the previous two stages. Seems to have it under control. 6 gear along here in the Citroën. Solberg's time is up. 10:27. And he takes it by 4.9 seconds. Third fastest time of the day. So this is how the leaderboard looks at the end of stage 9. Sébastien Loeb out in front. Marcus Grönholm homing in and Harry Rovanperä in third place, and the gap between Duval and Märtin has increased slightly. But look at that battle of the Brits. 10th, 11th and 12th. Meek, McRae and Higgins. It's game on.
Well, there's some battle going on between you two.
Yeah, it's quite close, isn't it?
You got the upper hand at the moment, Chris.
We didn't yesterday, but you know, this morning we've just been taking fractions of a second each stage, and we've crept in front. But it's very close. Collins had a slight problem this morning with the gear shift, so this may be slowing him a little. But you know, it's been quite good.
What would it mean for you to be in front of him at the end of tomorrow?
We're still here. We're only halfway through the rally. You know, there's a long way to go. It wasn't my goal to beat Colin at all. It wasn't. You know, I'm just driving my own rally and trying to keep it in the middle of the road. So we'll see what happens.
You want to be quicker than him, but you must be quite pleased with his performance.
Absolutely, I think it's really good. If you look at the times, some of them are really quite good against Atkinson and the other Subaru guys, and Chris is still here, which is the main thing. The other two have gone out, so I think if he keeps that pace up, then slowly towards the end of the rally, the times are going to be good.
And do you think you can push back towards the points if you get this fixed? Can you get the gearbox fixed?
Yeah, I can push a bit harder, when things are working well and the conditions right, but I don't want to take chances in sort of the unknown.
Škoda were quick to replace Colin's gearbox. It took them just 12.5 minutes. Job done. McRae was back in the car. The old gearbox was dissected to see what went wrong.
Now, another up-and-coming driver, Guy Wilkes, has something unique on offer for this week's competition, and here he is with John.
Well, I'm with Guy Wilkes down here at Suzuki, and Guy, tell us about this special crash out.
It's a one-off colour scheme that has been designed by the gaming designers down at PlayStation, and you might be able to see the line on the side. That's for the English theme, and obviously a watermarked Union Jack on the back for the rest of the fans.
So a patriotic prize, and you'll sign it for the lucky winner?
Absolutely.
And I think they want to know whether you're going to hand it back in mint condition at the end of the rally.
I damn well hope so.
To win Guy's crash helmets, all you need to do is answer the following question correctly. Who is the reigning junior world champion? Is it A, Guy Wilkes, B, Peachy Anderson, or C, Chris Meek? Call us on 090 12 930 300 or text rally followed by A, B or C to 63337. And good luck.
So the drivers are on their way out now on the second loop of stages as Sébastien Loeb closes in on the world title. And it's a similar story for Fernando Alonso, who, having failed to win the Formula One title in Spa, could do so next weekend
Welcome back, and it's straight on to the action in Cricken 2. A repeat of the first time through here this morning, 12 miles. Mark Higgins in 12th place. Best result on this rally, 6th overall in 2002.
100, crest and
6 seconds splits the top 3 Brits. McRae and Meek just in front of him.
crest okay, 70 down, left 4.
Brian Thomas, an old co-driver of mine on the pace notes.
Right 625, right 1 plus Atkinson.
Right 1 flat Atkinson, that's where Chris disappeared earlier this morning, down there on the right hand side.
70.
Chris Meek in 10th place, and he's Impreza run by RED. Got Higgins and McRae behind him, driving with maturity this weekend and enjoying every moment of it.
6 right on small.
Glenn Patterson on the notes here.
6 left on cut.
Look at the speeds.
Long 6 right in and left.
Listen to the engine.
Slowing into 6 right.
Serious speeds along here.
80. Middle over crest and double caution 3 left minus for 80.
Colin McRae and the Škoda with Nicky Grist. 11th overall. And it looks like he's got a fight in his hands with Higgins and Meek, and he'll be drawing on his experience from the 17 times he's contested this event.
6 left over crest, long and tightens, and K left tightens to long, slow 3.
Whoa, big moment. Hard on the throttle there. Got himself out of trouble.
6 crest into 5 right minus.
These 4-wheel drive cars, that's the way. If you sometimes have a big moment, you just have to get on that throttle. Whoa, bit of a sideways moment over that jump as well. The marshals are loving it. Listen to the horns. Spectators going mad. Peter Solberg, 2nd place, 23 seconds behind Sébastien Loeb. Struggling to find that extra performance to really take the fight to Loeb.
To keep left of a crest. Into 2 right minus. Tightens.
One of the few damp places on the stages have really dried out since we had that overnight rain on Thursday. And here is the man, Sébastien Loeb. 8 wins so far this season, 18 in total in his short career. And it's got to be said, he's looking good for another one.
Sur gauchy. Gauchy 250 mètres.
Ultra neat driving style, not very sideways, but he manages to get ultimate speed out this Citroën. He's never won this event before, so it will be one to tick the box on. Final right-hander of the stage, no problem for Loeb. So this is how the leaderboard looks after stage 11. Sébastien Loeb wins that one and takes 5 from 5 for today. Meek, McRae and Higgins, that battle's hotting up. All 3 of them split by 5 seconds.
So McRae is back, but since McRae and Richard Burns left the championship, there's been no top-line Brit for us to support. But all of that is going to change because of what Robert Reid, Richard's world champion co-driver from 2001 and the governing body in motorsport, is doing. Robert, what's going on?
Yeah, we've launched MSA British Rally Elite, and the idea of the initiative is to showcase the British talent, the guys at the top of WRC at the moment, and give them the skill set that they need for WRC. You know, looking at all different angles, from media and marketing to their skills development to everything they need in order to be attractive to a World Championship team.
Robert and the Motorsport Association have hand-picked 4 drivers and 2 co-drivers, and their mission is quite simple: to find and encourage the new stars of British rallying.
Already I've learnt a lot from it. A lot of sports psychology and training and all in the various aspects, really, looking at completely different things, you know, things that you can maybe pick 3 things in a stage and remember them and try and work on them for the next stage. Just little psychological things that in the long run can probably really benefit them.
They basically provide us with a whole training regime to stick to now, which is good because it gives us goals to aim for and we can see our own progress.
I mean, Robert, unbelievable to have him at the end of the phone. If you've ever got a question, he's there. You know, he's been through it all. He's world champion. It's fantastic, and it just gives you that confidence that you can go into, you know, the big rallies and have people there to support you.
Right 3 long.
As we all know, for any driver, it's probably a 5-year project to get to the top of WRC, but I think we'd like to see the guys coming through into the junior categories, and we hope to achieve that in a year or two's time.
And the guys that you've found are promising and you think they can make it?
Definitely, I've been very impressed with the guys we're working with, and as I say, just trying to fine-tune their skill set and give them the opportunities that they need.
The green grass of halfway, and still these fans are coming, braving the rising wind to see the battle that's brewing between the Brits. But just outside of all of that, in 20th place, Matthew Wilson.
The 18-year-old is here for experience, and he's gaining that very quickly. Part of the initiative for the MSA Elite.
Right 4 minus in and right 4 minus. 60. Crest and right 4 minus in and right 4 minus. And left 5 minus, don't cut, opens long wrong.
Scott Martin, his co-driver, is also in the scheme.
Crest, flat right and right 6 plus in.
To Chris Meek in 10th place overall, and if he covets 9th place, then this might be the place to try and take it.
McRae's got the pressure firmly on, though, 2.7 seconds behind Chris.
And this doesn't look promising.
Whoa! Bit of a spin there. Get into reverse.
Just a word of encouragement from Glenn Patterson, his co-driver.
You have to be careful when you select reverse in these cars. Do it too quickly and it'll break that gearbox. It's going to have cost him a handful of seconds. That'll put him behind McRae for certain, and Mark Higgins is in that fight as well.
We ran wide about 3k in, and the car just spun in the middle of the road, and we had to do a 3-point turn to get going again, so we probably dropped 12 seconds in there, you know, to our own time, you know. So, but okay, I'm sure Colin will be quite a bit in front now.
Not half, and his gear selection problem is over. No more reaching for that gear stick like this morning. All of that is solved.
McRae will be up to 10th because of Chrissy's spin.
6 right, 30. 6 left, opens long.
This is a climb up to Dixie's corner.
50. Slight right over crest and care. 6 left over jump, maybe keep in. 30. 3 right plus over jump, maybe.
That just shows you how the weather has changed since Thursday night and Friday morning when it was damp. Look at the dust that's coming off here, almost like Australia, Robbie.
Yeah, but the temperature's not quite the same, John. 10 degrees centigrade out there, pretty chilly.
100.
Final blast to the finish. The time of Meek is there, 10:41.
200, just stop. Okay.
McRae beats it by 8 seconds and takes that 10th place.
10:33.
8th place and a point might not be too far away. Now this is a man in a crisis. Harry Rovanperä in 3rd place is losing 3rd gear.
Pidä pitkä oikein täys lopussa sisään, portti täys.
He's on the manual shift, listen to it.
Vasen nopea 7.
With 3rd gear has got an awful lot of speed.
Serious gearbox problems here, John, and Marcus Grönholm was only 6 seconds behind him. This is a great shame. That Mitsubishi was flying this weekend, and so was Rovanperä, but he's going to lose his place. Francois Deval in 5th. He had a big battle with Marco Martin earlier in the day, but he seems to have got rid of that. Up the pace. He has a 20-second gap to Martin.
50, sommet gauche 120, coupé, tape, pas extérieur, 100 mètres. 100 mètres.
Duval unable to shake himself out of 5th place. He's been there all day.
Whoa, some serious speed through there.
Now with Rovanperä suffering, Duval is probably going to gain, and this man certainly is. Marcus Grönholm is right behind Harry Rovanperä in 4th place.
That's right, just to recap, the gap was 6 seconds. With Rovanperä's problems, almost certainly Marcus will be 3rd now.
Valeri lyhyt, 150.
What a recovery he's made. He was 19th yesterday, John. One of the drives of the rally so far.
Yli nypyn 9. Nyppy 7. Ja nyppy oikein hidas, kivi sisällä ja ulkona. 7.
So just a little bit of lady luck for Marcus Grönholm, but on his performance this weekend, he's deserved it.
Sisällä. 9. Oikein hidas kivi sisällä.
Okay, down onto this ultra quick section through here. Enjoy the ride.
Ja vasen eri yli nypyn sisältä. 100.
Grönholm on the podium and enjoying it. He might not think it's very special, but that sort of sight, Robbie, is special. Rally leader Sébastien Loeb out in another of those typical Loeb comfort zones.
Driving very cleanly, very precise as always. And it's got to be said, this Citroën, ultra reliable, and it has been all season. For his female fans out there, he tied the knot with his long-term girlfriend, so he's off the market. Sorry, girls.
Hell of a honeymoon, though, a high-speed tour of Wales, you got to say. Sébastien Loeb extending his lead after stage 12, but Harry Roddenperra's faulty gearbox drops him 30 seconds in 2 places. That brings Grönholm up to 3rd, Duval up to 4th, and 8th place Manfred Stoll is the target for the Brits tomorrow. He's got a lead of 50.4 seconds over the best of them, Colin McRae.
Now, this great stadium has held FA Cup finals and even a World Cup final. But tonight, the Millennium Stadium hosts the very first indoor stage of the World Rally Championship.
I suppose I wasn't good enough to run around there with a rugby ball in my hand, so it's about the only way I can say I've competed in the stadium.
50, keep left for care.
First to witness the cauldron and to experience the deafening noise inside the arena is Chris Meek.
Caution, slowing.
First two to misjudge the slipperiness of this indoor surface.
And 4 left, keep in. Care, slowing 50. 3 left narrows and caution. 3 left tightens, keep in for 80.
But Meek set a benchmark time of 67.8 seconds. Next up, his boss and the one the thousands inside the Millennium Stadium had come to see, Colin McRae. And the noise level reached new heights on the decibel counter.
Into 6 left, and left against the forward to Arch.
The time was better than his protege 2 by 0.6 of a second. Then Gigi Galli, just as he had done at the Super Special in the Olympic Stadium in Athens, proved he's the Italian entertainer. Roman Cresta's way of providing entertainment, though, met with less appreciation from the timekeepers. Sébastien Loeb had won all 6 previous stages in the day before entering the stadium, and by the time he left, he was still quickest, beating all the others in a time of 64.8 seconds.
Gauche 130 plus tard. Ouvre et ferme 130 long. Et ferme 120 moins.
That was until Mark Higgins entered the arena. Sit back and enjoy a stage-winning drive by the Briton.
Into latest left 3. 40. Latest right 2. 30, tight right 1 close. Into latest left 3. 40. Latest right 2. 30. Tight right 1 plus. Then latest left 4 plus. Opens and tightens to arch. Good
WRC stop.
The Millennium Stadium satisfied then, so too Sébastien Loeb, who's 3/4 of a minute ahead of Peter Solberg after day 2. Grönholm is third, with Duval still just ahead of Rovanperä. Higgins' first ever WRC stage win makes him the best Brit now in 10th, with only 7.4 seconds separating him from compatriots Colin McRae and Chris Meek.
Day 3 was to be the Battle of the Brits, but instead it's been overshadowed by the death of Markko Martin's British co-driver Michael Park. The pair had an accident on stage 15 and Park was pronounced dead at the scene.
Service back in Swansea was speechless. Peugeot stunned. One of rally's most likeable characters lost.
This morning has happened what can happen one day in rally, to have an accident on the side. And if the accident is just on the side where there is or the driver or the co-driver, it is terrible. And this morning that happened to Markko and his co-driver dead immediately, and it was really terrible.
Can you give us a word about Michael Park, one of the most loved members of the WRC fraternity?
Okay, it was our friend. You can look to everybody in the team. Everybody is under. I cannot tell in English, but it is really terrible for us because this guy was so happy to live and he was so passionate with his job, and he knew the risk himself. But each time you think that it can happen to me.
Peugeot immediately withdrew Marcus Grönholm's car, which effectively meant Sébastien Loeb would have won the World Championship right there and then, because the governing body wouldn't allow the results after stage 15, when Marcus Grönholm was third, to stand. Their inflexible and insensitive approach left Citroën and Loeb with no option but to take a time penalty themselves and throw the rally, leaving Loeb down in third, Duval second, and Solberg an unlikely and reluctant winner. So the championship won't be decided until at least Japan, which is where the drivers will head somberly in a fortnight's time. The usual podium celebrations were replaced by a minute's silence at the finish ramp, observed by his WRC colleagues.
So the Rally of Great Britain, which was trumpeted as the return of Colin McRae, will instead be remembered because of the death of Michael Park. Rallying is a dangerous sport, but knowing that doesn't lessen the grief or the loss. Our thoughts are with his wife and 2 children, a husband and father to them, a friend to us, and a friend to the rally. He'll be sorely missed.